Hey guys, so I have a question for you. Do you ever get scared to try new things? Maybe you can remember like the first time your parents said, "Hey, why don't you try some pizza?" And maybe you were a little scared because pizza can look weird sometimes, but then you tried it and you loved it. Maybe it was the same way with like your favorite candy, or maybe you're learning how to ride a bike and you just need to trust your parents when they say you can do it. Maybe they'll ride along with you and they'll tell you to follow me. Well, if you can relate to any of that, then maybe you can also relate to the disciples. We'll talk about when Jesus called them to be the disciples. We'll start by talking about Peter and Andrew, his brother. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come follow me," said Jesus, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. Now, when Jesus said, "I will send you out to fish for people," he didn't really mean like, I'm going to send you to actually go catch people with like a fishing net or something like that. No. Instead, what he was talking about was going and talking to people, going and sharing your faith, go preach the gospel. That's what he wanted them to do. He wanted them to catch men in that way. Now, going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father Zebedee, preparing their nets. Jesus called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Now, these guys were a little bit hesitant at first because they're people, but ultimately when Jesus said, "Come follow me," God in his wisdom knew that these men will come follow him. They will go be preachers and do what he tells them to. They had really good faith. And now we'll talk about a man called Matthew. As Jesus went on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax collector's booth. Now, tax collectors were not well liked by other Israelites at the time. "Follow me," he told him. And Matthew got up and followed him. While Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and with sinners?" You see, they're all sitting there having a good time, and there's the Pharisee asking, What's going on here? Now, a Pharisee was somebody who was a teacher of the law. They were higher up. They tried to make themselves look good to people. So seeing Jesus, somebody who is a teacher, talking with all these sinners and tax collectors, all these people who were not well liked, they questioned that and thought, "You shouldn't be doing that, Jesus." On hearing this, Jesus said, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick." Just like you can see here. If you have a healthy guy just showing up to a doctor, what can the doctor do for him? He's healthy. But doctors are there to help sick people. But go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. The awesome thing about that is you are righteous because you believe in Jesus. And that's what he did to you. God calls you to follow him. And do you know why he calls you to follow him? He calls you to also be like an apostle. You need to be a fisher of men. You need to preach to unbelievers. And why should we preach to unbelievers? Well, they need to hear Jesus. We have that message, we have that good news, and you have it. You need to share it with people. And I know it can be scary. It can be scary to go and talk to new people, but that's what we're here on earth to do. So, come follow me. Let's follow Jesus and do what we as children of God, as fishers of men, need to be doing. Thanks.